Culture's competitive, man.
Right.
It is, but I think when it goes past the music itself to blocking things in business, then I don't understand that. Like right now, he's not even competing for a slot. You don't have a new song out that he want to be on the top 10 or top 5.
Right.
And you still...
Having officially teamed up, Eminem and 50 Cent aren't afraid to take aim at Jay Z. They're calling attention to a number of grave charges, questionable company practices, credit fraud, award show manipulation, and even a ruined career path. Now it's more than just background noise. Right now it looks like a 5-alarm fire. According to 50 Cent, Jay Z is still trying to thwart his business endeavors.
It's not a real vote. That's not a real vote. They give it to who they want to give it to. They give it to their darlings.
Cowboy Carter.
Eminem has also been cautioning folks for years about this music industry's actual grime and depravity. M's recently begun sneaking some enigmatic bars into his tracks, subtle indicators that capable gatekeepers are working in the background. But the story doesn't end there. Another name getting pulled into the tidal wave is Beyoncé's. Allegations that she stole songwriting credits and blackballed other female musicians are being taken seriously. Names like Kari Hilson, Mary J. Blige, Maya, and Aaliyah are being mentioned, and people are pointing. All fell silent as women began to speak up, but then they stopped.
It's the price you pay, when you're early in your career, you feel that you have to listen. And when you buck, they buck.
The strong friendship between Jay Z and Beyoncé and Diddy is causing concerns once again. In fact, people are starting to ask questions. Jay Z might have gotten out of Jane Doe's lawsuit. Now, though, the alleged victim is exhibiting serious symptoms. When a highly suspicious person knocked on our door, she says she felt pressured to remain silent. It's very scary stuff. All of them are now asking the real question. Does the general population really believe that Jay Z and Beyoncé make the perfect power couple? Or are they just really good at covering up all the mess when no one is looking? Have they been sitting at the top and stepping over people to stay there? Furthermore, do 50 Cent and Eminem really have insider information? Will they reveal an industry that has been ruining artists' careers and potentially endangering lives?
Harbor some energy towards me.
You think you were purposely left out of the ad?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think. I think that they were saying the NFL had some issues with me that I don't know what those issues are. Like, what is the issue? You start looking at that's not mine. That's theirs. They Harper, right? But when you look at M is looking at the entire legacy.
Yeah.
The whole thing, like with M, Dre, and myself, like I'm a shady aftermath. You see what I'm saying? Like, it do so much G-Unit Records.
Right.
They were untouchable for years, Jay and they. They immediately respond negatively to anything you say about them. People call you jealous or bitter. Additionally, the receipts supporting everything this time were sent to 50 Cent. During the 2023 Super Bowl halftime show, 50 claimed that Jay Z tried to use his NFL contacts as leverage behind closed doors to keep him from performing. Isn't it crazy? But this is the real point at which things went wrong. Because Eminem wouldn't have it, Jay's entire plan was a complete failure.
And you didn't know if you wanted it for the recognition or the trophies, but then what's the difference? And that Grammys pretty much suck the blood of artists and nominate them, have them come to the shows, and
Which they do. They
Is that
do
what-
it every year, yeah. And I'm just tired of seeing it. And for whatever reason, it's like they're always pitching this hint that you might win.
And that bold action alone demonstrated Jay's desire to do whatever it took to keep 50 Cent out of the spotlight. Now move quickly. We'll start with Cameron's recent appearance on Flea's Talk on 50. He's also once again slamming Jay Z. 50 asserts that Jay is still involved in dubious activities in the music industry and behind closed doors in boardrooms. The craziest part is this. According to 50, Jay Z has already proven all of his arguments.
He was doing like,
Yeah, go ahead.
he was doing some wild because he was saying that to Eminem that the NFL had the issue with me. And I'm like, well, what's the issue? Why don't I have an issue when I'm becoming a partner in the actual team, but they got an issue with my performance, right? Makes no sense. You know what I mean?
I was going to get to that later, but since we're here now. And when he says "oh boy" for the audience that
Yeah, it's
don't know,
Jay.
talking about Jay Z. This was discussed before. Jay Z told Dr. Dre, just for people who's not up on this, or Eminem, that he didn't want you to perform part of that Super Bowl they
Right.
had a couple years ago. Why do you think that is?
Well, I just think,
Threatened?
yeah, I
Possibly?
think, not even threat. You know, I think it's just when you take the competition from, like, our culture is competitive, man.
Right.
It is, but I think when it goes past the music itself to blocking things in business, then I don't understand that. Like right now, he's not even competing for a slot. You don't have a new song out that he want to be on the top 10 or top 5,
Right.
and you still competing. It don't make sense. Like, what are we competing for?
Tell me.
What's the goal? Like this even, like, a lot of even a lot of the competitive stuff, or what we would call it beef, right?
Right.
It changed. That terminology changed when it's Biggie and Tupac, because we start saying the things that people would say that cause beef in the environment.
Right.
When before that, they called it babbling in our culture.
Right.
Right. Because that's what it is until it turns into some street shit. So when you're not competing for those things anymore, and you start looking and you're going, so what was the problem? You can't exactly.
However, it is said that he is still out there trying to disrupt business deals in the 1950s because he is resentful. Well, he just can't. Give it up. And trust me, it's more than that. Now, Eminem and 50 Cent are working together closely in order to reveal what they say is blatant Grammy manipulation. The 50s blame Jay Z personally for allegedly using his marriage to Beyoncé as a sort of cheat code to win awards. Meanwhile, for years, Eminem has been yelling that the Grammys are a hoax, a system of pay to win when real talent is totally unimportant. Not everyone cheered when Beyoncé won Album of the Year for Cowboy Carter either. Fans wondered if Jay had manipulated strings again, especially after the previous year.
All the doors that you opened, showed us that we can be rock stars. Seeing you on the Rolling Stone, obviously there's Run DMC with the Leathers and the Aerosmith, but when you came out west, you took it to a whole new level. Some of you don't belong in the category.
When he took the Grammy stage, he criticized the Recording Academy for disregarding his wife. But from here, it gets worse. Alien. Jay's comments were not being well received by the audience. He was reprimanding the same individuals who had awarded him the medal, but it felt odd and fake. As a result of the overall atmosphere, people were talking even louder, asking, why even attend the Grammys if they are truly that biased? Instead of pleading for their acceptance on stage, why not just turn away and demonstrate that you don't need it? Is it merely coercion and expensive deals occurring behind the scenes, or are the Carters genuinely accumulating wealth through their talents? Insiders have long said that the Grammy Awards aren't primarily about talent. Insiders have long said that the Grammy Awards aren't primarily about talent. It's all about secret handshakes and commercial politics. Eminem has long been among the most vocal condemners of it. For a long time, and has insisted that the Grammy system as a whole is fraudulent. Additionally, he meant it. And he swore never to be seen again. What he did was that. Don't misunderstand, though. Eminem's defeat does not cast him in a negative light. He said categorically, he would respect it if another artist truly released a better album than him. What irritates him the most is the way the Grammys pronounce his name. They overstamp Eminem, use his face in the ads, and make it seem like he has a real chance to win a trophy in order to boost views and ratings. He then exits quickly as if he had never been taken into consideration when the concert time comes. All Day mirrors that smoke. When someone asked him if he would ever consider going back if he joined the Grammy voting team, he didn't even bat an eye. Asserted that nothing would happen. And why? All of it is rigged, he says.
Best new artist at the Grammys.
There was nothing bigger than
Nothing bigger,
Get Rich
and
or Die
nobody,
Trying. Yeah.
nobody since maybe like Snoop came out the gate like that. My first album didn't do it. I never saw someone's first album and the wave happen like he had. And then he doesn't get it. And then I get up there another year, and what was it, the Eminem show? And it was like, whatever. I'm fine if I lose to Kanye or someone that I'm like, okay, I respect that. I know who that is, and Kanye has a huge following and he's made a massive impact on music. Fine, I'm good with that. But don't get us all here to use your selling point for your show and stiff everybody every single time. And I said, after that point in time, I was like, don't ever ask me to here again. Please do not ask me. My answer is no for 100 million years.
Such votes are pointless. Right now, 50 Cent is riding right next to him, further demeaning him. Not only is he saying that the Grammys are rigged. According to 50, Jay-Z's success is completely unrelated to music. 50 said Jay is getting so much praise because of his marriage to Beyoncé. The Recording Academy knows about it, he says. As long as they are present, Jay and Bey will be given those honors. After the cameras flash and the ratings skyrocket, the entire show suddenly becomes a global fad. Okay, so what comes next? Don't stop putting Jay and Beyoncé forward. Just to make sure the power couple takes center stage, keep rewarding them with incentives. But 50 cents is not all that was used. Not even close. At his most recent appearance on the Ridiculous podcast, he made an even more emphatic statement. Jay-Z's entire empire, all those Grammy trophies, isn't really about raw talent, 50 said plainly. Ultimately, it is up to his spouse. Additionally, 50 didn't stop there. Furthermore, he referred to Jay and Beyoncé's collaboration as a contract without exception. He said that they may be only keeping their cool for the sake of the deals, the status, and the authority they confer. Isn't it crazy? It's not universally accepted by all 50 that Jay is abusing his position of authority. For years, there have been insider rumors that Jay Z and Beyoncé have purposefully excluded other musicians. And why? No problem. Consequently, nobody else is incredibly smart. Therefore, they are always the winners, always the main focus. Uncle Ron, Beyoncé's former bodyguard, is the subject of a dark parable. Prior to his death from illness, Uncle Ron made a statement claiming to have receipts. Proof without dispute that Jay and Bey stifled up-and-coming talent, ruined lives, and ruined careers. All in the pursuit of establishing their own rule. I knew too much, he said. A lot of discussion surrounds the time of his death. To put it mildly, why didn't we mention Jaguar in the midst of all of this? Despite being Jay-Z's backing vocalist in the past, she is now one of his most outspoken and bitter critics. According to the Jaguars, who have been leaking a lot of information, Jay's friends and family, including Big L, the famed Harlem player, either mysteriously died or had their careers stop at the same time that Jay was taking off. Let's pause for a moment and talk about Big L, one of the biggest acts in Harlem in the early 1990s. Big L was a lyrical monster known for his crazy freestyles. It was his name that was echoing through the streets. Following his deal with Columbia Records, he had a highly controversial debut. And when Columbia released Big L, he wasn't ready to let up. He was making major strides and had founded his own record label. Rockefeller co-founder Dame Dash started to pay attention at that point. Finally, the Big L was preparing that big break. But tragedy occurred just as he was about to launch his career. On February 15, 1999, Big L was slain by gunfire during a drive-by in Harlem. Moreover, the lawsuit has not been settled after all these years. Justice, no answers. However, you're correct if you ask Jag. She has nothing to conceal. She is convinced that Jay-Z might have been the one responsible. He is currently the subject of this kind of suspicion.
Jay-Z, or even heard him spit a rhyme, was at an MC battle, street battle in New York. But he didn't show up as Jay-Z. He didn't show up as the hottest rapper on the street. He showed up as the that was with Big L.
Rest
For
in
those
peace.
of you,
Rest in peace, Big L.
rest in peace, Big L.
One of the
That was
dopest.
the
One of
sensei.
the dopest. Yes.
Big L was who put Jay-Z on.
Without question.
And then Big L died, and then the next thing you know, Jay-Z.
Now that we've moved on to the next icon, let's focus more on DMX. DMX was among the few rappers beyond 50. The bold move to go straight up to Jay-Z was made by Cent. Jay was typically characterized by DMX as sly, jealous, and bitter. Furthermore, after Jay was named president of Def Jam in 2004, things became quite unstable. DMX had been quite strict with Def Jam. From 1998 to 2003, 5 albums in a row reached the #1 spot.
Okay, I see what's really good. You're trying to eliminate the competition. You know, because at first you retire, you know, then get me off the label. Now you back rap.
DMX said that Jay Z purposefully obstructed the release of Year of the Dog, his 6th project, put it off to allow for his own journey back. Straight power moves are all about control.
Rap or sing or whatever, don't become a part of the game. You know what? Listen to a song I called The Industry. And that pretty much explains, you're saying what it's about, the industry. Man, it's not the same. The industry, it's not a f***ing game. The industry, real is dying to get in the industry just to find they don't fit in. The industry ain't what it used to be. The industry's trying to control the way you MC. They want you to dress like this and talk like that, but I'm going dress like this and talk.
DMX's 2005 single, in which he threw everything on the line, completely upended the business, adding to the drama. Full disclosure of the questionable activities occurring behind closed doors. This is followed by the strangest part. Most of the subjects covered by DMX in the past are still prevalent now. Irv Gotti, an industry insider, says it plainly. DMX turned Jay Z envious. Jay and his mentor Lear Cohen used to laugh in the background, Irv said, thinking that DMX would never make it big. But X proved them incorrect. Unquestionably, there's more to Jay's name than that. Furthermore, Beanie Sigel keeps coming up. Beanie said he had the impression that someone was always pulling threads to keep him down. According to him, Jay Z would release his own records around the same time as Beanie's, obscuring the attention so Beanie's numbers would never get too high. Beanie appeared to be limited in his ability to rise and never to go above a certain point. In fact, Beanie Sigel admitted his faults, especially those related to his legal issues.
Man can destroy another man's life. It's ultimately in your own decisions. You know, I had a lot of issues. Like I said, legal issues at the time. And, you know, my mind wasn't where I'm at now today. Like, I used to have questions like, why every time my album dropped, Jay would drop right on top. He wouldn't let me breathe or right before me. Like, I was always close. And I never understood that every single album that I dropped, Jay dropped right on top. And it was like, damn, like to have in-house competition at that magnitude was crazy. Jay already the boss, but
he was rather clear about it. Jay-Z's questionable behavior wasn't meant to be. Beanie asserts that every action Jay's choice was carefully considered. Additionally, we shouldn't pretend that Beyoncé has done nothing wrong. Even now, some fans continue to spread the unfounded belief that she's only Jay's puppet. Without contributing to the plan, Beyoncé would not have been able to support Jay-Z for so long. They have, if anything, been working side by side the entire time, getting rid of any players they think pose a threat. A tiny sample of that tea is shown here. Once Beyoncé left Destiny's Child and started dating Jay, something extremely strange happened. Rumor has it that Jay lured producer Richard Harrison away from rising star Amory, who was supposedly Beyoncé's real competition and who was quite popular at the period in question. Remember the hit song One Thing by Amory? That music echoed the wild, unique vibe of Crazy in Love. Some fans also still think that after Harrison's ship jump, Beyoncé grabbed the entire recipe. Besides, it doesn't stop there. Carrie Hilson, for example, she got into a public dispute with Beyoncé that went completely wrong. Carrie was allegedly tricked into recording a diss track against Bey by her own producers, who purposefully set her up for humiliation and cancellation. The situation deteriorated as Carrie first denied it and then refused to hold a magazine cover with Jay Z and Beyoncé on it. Would you like to hold the periodicals? So they asked Carrie Hilson. She declined and the Beehive went berserk. The people who admired Carrie were critical of her. Some are even publicly confronting her. However, gossip started to spread behind the scenes. Some others speculate that Beyoncé may have planned the whole thing. There are claims that Bey infiltrated Car's crew, individuals who set her up to record the diss track as Beyoncé maintained her hand hygiene and portrayed the defenseless victim. And in a 2020 interview years later, Carrie kind of affirmed that, having felt pressure to take that song down, she admitted. Moreover, the later threat she got was very real. That impact wasn't just intermittent. That was a dramatic example of sabotaging one's career.
You know, when you're early in your career, you feel that you have to listen. And when you buck, they buck harder and they make threats. And those threats are huge ones. And you know what I mean? You don't feel like you have a choice. I really didn't.
Besides, we can't ignore Kellis. Beyoncé was accused of stealing Afterpay from her. Didn't give her any credit but sampled her popular song Milkshake. This is where the crazy starts. Prior to reading about it online, Kellis was not aware of it. Social media is how she found out about it, just like everyone else. I heard about this the same way everyone else did, Kellis said on social media. There is never a planned outcome. Some of the people in this industry are soulless and dishonest, and they have deceived everyone. Later, Kellis posted a thorough explanation of the whole situation on Instagram, saying it was more than just music. Respect was at issue. She added, there aren't many black female musicians in the business with actual clout, and a simple phone conversation might have resolved everything given all of the shared friends and personal connections. Kellis said bluntly, getting in touch with me isn't that difficult, it's just plain politeness. Beyoncé, however, removed the sample without a word and without expressing regret or admitting her error. Just quiet, no commitment, no accountability. The next name is Mia, which is no longer well known, but for all the wrong reasons. Rumor has it that she was banned because she supposedly turned down Jay Z's advances. Mia has been vocal in interviews about the way powerful people in the industry abuse their power to endanger aspiring, up-and-coming performers. Mia kept her own life simple. She said no and turned to go. However, that action came at a cost. Mia hinted that excluding certain individuals led to the subtle dismissal of her career and the damage of her reputation. The number of people that have come out, including 50 Cent, Eminem, Kellis, Mia, Jaguar, Wright, DMX, Beanie Sigel, and others, has made the question very clear. Do Jay Z and Beyoncé have a hidden agenda to undermine the competition, or are they just protecting their business? What's more, contrary to what many people think, this list isn't even final. Kindly immediately post the name of anyone you think we missed in the comments section. Regarding all of these assertions, what are your thoughts? Are the Carters genuinely untouchable, or are they just masters at hiding the mayhem unfolding behind the scenes? Remind your friends about this video, hit the like button, and subscribe. For additional information about the music industry, click that bell to be sure you don't miss any of the numerous bizarre stories.